So let's start with TLDR. Mostly I don't do it because I like to wait for the punch. But now we'll do the TLDR. So the question of Titans, I mean, one question is, if, I mean, they will eat, they consume these Nero's thingies, would they be immune to the radiation like, apparently you just discovered that I'm immune to it now? So the answer is, listen, really, I mean, I don't know, because it will be presumptuous to speak too much about like how it can affect the Titans, since I understand that they need it, but I mean, I have no knowledge of like their biology or like mechanism, because no one ever spoke to me about it. Not a single woman actually identified herself to me that as non-Homo sapiens. So I don't really know. I have ideas. Like, I mean, I'm not entirely clueless, but I really, I'm like rigorous medical knowledge I cannot give you, because I have never even like spoken freely with a Titan, female or not female. My assumption is that it will give you a permanent, not permanent, but I mean, temporary, certainly temporary immunity to this radiation. I don't think that you will not become like cherubs. Like, I mean, in very old text, I mean, not that old, I mean, from 2020, like, I mean, one of the first texts that I posted in my blog, I wrote about the Seraphim that are turned to cherubs, which, and I said that, I mean, the cherubs are like the Seraphim, that I mean, they're always doing the Gilgul, like the reincarnation or rebirth in another form, but I mean, they have different, like, they are made of different material. So I don't know. I don't think it will make you a cherub like me. I mean, if like, I mean, I don't want to be too rude, even though I understand that, I mean, you actually want to hear me say rude thing, because I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, you are forced to live a sexless life for so long, and I mean, it's only natural that you will want to like express your sexuality. So I wanted to say, I mean, if like a really nice Titan female with I'm not saying that she has like to have like I mean, the same like cup like Linko, but it will not like it will not like be a problem at all. I mean, it will only benefit the situation if she does. If she wants like to eat it for like a long time and see if she turns to cherub, I mean, maybe we can, I mean, for the sake of science, like arrange something, but I mean, I don't really know. I think that certainly it will give you a temporary immunity, and perhaps, I mean, I don't know, something like, in any case, I don't sell it, so I mean, I don't sell it because I cannot sell anything. I am a slave. Slaves cannot sell anything at all. Slaves are a property. Property cannot sell other property. And this is not a philosophical issue. I cannot do anything without the Shabak determining the exact terms of the deal. And as I said, I loathe the idea of participating in any kind of theater show. If you want those Neros, and there are plenty of them, as I said, even if I don't like manage to clone that answered by my body, I mean, only now in this room there are like a ton of containers with those Neros, like many thousands, like, I mean, in all sorts of size, probably millions. I mean, not in my body. I'm in this room, outside my body. So yeah, there is a lot of material that can help you. I mean, in many ways, and including in the radiation front, I would say. So if I don't sell it, how can you get it? I mean, of course you can get it by me giving it to you, either as part of sexual act, if, I mean, we are in a relationship, or in another way that we need to think about. But it will, anyway, it will not happen while in the geographical territory of the land of Israel. It will not happen, and it did not happen. I spoke about it like, I mean, like 4 or 5 years ago, that, I mean, I must be a monk because of many reasons that, I mean, I already spoke about, and I don't want to repeat myself too much. I mean, but you need to start, like, think rationally. You need to, first of all, adopt a moral stand. I think that it should be in favor of releasing the slaves from their captivity. But if you don't want to adopt such a stand, you need to think from entirely like egoistical point of view. what I mean, how important is it for you to get like this life material that will so much make your life so much better and longer with higher quality and immunity to all sorts of stuff? How important is it to you to upgrade yourself immensely in a moral way? And if the answer is that it's very important, you need to move arms and legs to Israel, not metaphoric ones, not symbolic ones, and not theatrical ones. You need to move your own arms and legs, the appendages that, I mean, I don't know what, I mean, you can change the form, but in any way, I mean, you don't lose the concept of limb. So if you have 4 limbs, you need to move, like, to change the location of the limb from wherever you are to Israel. This should be done quickly, but with thought, because it's going to be dangerous, because the Israelis will treat you as farm animals. But that's the only way for you to actually get the stuff. You need to move yourself to Israel. It will not end by that, but this is the most important step. You need to change your location to Israel. And then, of course, take care that the Israelis don't get you. Don't, like, I mean, you know, they are sadistic animals. And then you need to, I mean, it will be better, I mean, preferably with coordination of other forces, like not only Titans, but I mean, like intelligence services that many of you are part of, like in your own home countries. But anyway, with or without cooperation of your own home countries or an intelligence organization, you need to rescue me and my daughter from the Nazi prison. This will never be accomplished by movement of tongues and mouses. So you need to, I mean, to think about it. I mean, if you don't want to adapt the correct moral stand, from egoistic and rational point of view, like utilitarian, as they said, do you, I mean, agree to, I mean, risk yourself and, I mean, take like bold action and move like arms and legs in return for a very high probability of receiving a large amount of this material that is so valuable to you? There is no other way. You cannot speak out of it, or you cannot, like, I mean, communicate that, or, like, I mean, break the wall of, like, no, you need to move arms and legs. The Israelis will never set me free. It will never happen. The Israelis will never set me free. If you see how much they use the horns, you know why they use the horns? I don't care why, but they use the horns all day and all night. They want me to be crazy. They want to hospitalize me in a mental asylum. Say they can, like, I mean, milk the semen and like pee for me like a farm animal without the intervention of any, like, scrutiny. That's the plan for a long time now. They will never set me free. It will not happen. The only thing that might happen is what I referred to in the previous video that is now uploaded, which, I mean, they will give you a clone instead of me, which is like classic Israeli move. They will never set me free. Never, ever, ever, ever. Maybe they will, I mean, they will conduct a show, which is what they do all the time. They will ask, like, Pharaoh in Exodus. Okay, so we can let you go, but I mean, who wanted to actually go? Like, I mean, I just understand. No, your daughters cannot go. No, of course not. I mean, they're Israeli. You can, no. Like Pharaoh. מי ומי ההולכים פרשת בו. מהי פרשה? I was born ד' שבט, תשמ"ד. מי ומי בהולכים. I never knew how to like sing there with tamim, you know. So this was the TLDR, which is quite long. So I mean, what I want to say now is to address the issue like in a more like from a perspective. For many years now, I have the issue of people that think that I'm a clone of myself, and I felt like they need to prove, because I mean, I overcome it, and I don't need to prove anything to anybody. But I mean, initially you think, oh, why do you think that I'm a clone? I mean, think that I am what I am. So you try to prove, but then I mean, pretty quickly you reach the conclusion that you don't have any way actually to prove that you are yourself and not a clone. And also the other guys mostly are just like pigs from the intelligence services of Israel, and they know nothing about you, and they almost know nothing at all. So even they don't have any way to distinguish between the two. So it's entirely matter of a decision. They decide that you're a clone or not according to like whatever operation that they're part of, and they just go with it. That's, I mean, the absurdity of my life, one aspect of it. But I did understand it maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. I understood that, I mean, I had like the divinations of radiation. It is one of the punishments of mankind, of humankind. But I understood that there is actually some kind of cycling with it. So it's like, I mean, it's cycles with, there is intense periods of very strong radiations. And the Titans are vulnerable to that, but also the what I call hybrids, which are humans like Homo sapiens that eaten neurons from my body, or they eaten the black goo or the brown goo. And I understood that nobody speaks to me in my head because nobody tell me that I'm not Homo sapiens, but expect me to be fried with the next radiation cycle. And understand that, I mean, I'm immune to it because otherwise I was already fried or committed a reset that they wanted to do so eagerly or any other way. And I understood that God helps me and like made me immune to that because otherwise I wouldn't be possible for me to reach my 40s year, I mean, alive and like más o menos well, certainly physically, if not mentally. So I mean, and there are all sorts of I mean, like I would say occurrences that, I mean, or like happening that, I mean, the people around me, I mean, start to think that I'm a clone. So this can have several reasons, but I understood that one of them is that, I mean, we just follow the radiation like cycle, and I spend it outside like walking. I mean, as I had to do, I mean, you know, I really like walking. I mean, hiking, and so they expected me to be fried and to conduct reset or all sorts of like mythologies that they have regarding the Titans, which are all irrelevant mythology or not, because I am not a Titan. So yeah, I assume that we had this kind of event right now. Even though, as I said, there are other reasons why people at different points of my life think that, I mean, want me to prove that I'm actually me and not a clone. Okay, so as you see here, we have the three frozen or ex-frozen mixtures, and what I would do now is I try to let the alcohol evaporate. I don't know if it's like a scientifically sound method, but I don't have any other way, and I understood that, I mean, a large amount of alcohol is really not beneficial. I know that it's kind of like obvious, but I mean, forgive me, I deal with a lot of stuff, and I mean, sometimes I forget like basic stuff, and I also bought like in a super farm like a 1 liter alcohol 70%. So when you buy a large amount of something, you have a tendency to overuse it, at least in the beginning, like after you bought it. So, but it's not, I mean, it's not a perfect material. It's better to use hydrogen peroxide, which I don't have actually, or just to use my pee, which is sterile. Okay, yes. So, so many Titans, female Titans that I mean, we're excited that I refer to the issue of BDSM, and I wanted to know if I want to play with them to be like a dom, and they will be the subs. So I will say everything is on the menu, but not in Israel. I need to be rescued from this place. This is a horrible prison. Don't have any mistake about it. And speaking about such issues, when I'm a slave in a Nazi concentration camp, I mean, I would say it's ironic, but it's more cruel than ironic. I need to stop this cruelty. And so I found in the garbage, one of the people here gave me plastic that were used to wrap pies, and they're not thick enough, but maybe I'll try to use it for microscopic slides, because there are a ton of things that I need to actually watch. Maybe it will help me with my scientific endeavors. By the way, I mean, speaking about obvious things that sometimes you just flew out of your mind because I have too much on my plate, as they say, is that I've spoken I said that the rotor, because I detach the rotor from a heat a fan heater, because I wanted to rotate the container in the vicinity of a magnet. So then there is a question of what kind of magnet and how to do it properly. But I don't think it's, I think that all, so I use DC, and I didn't understand why it doesn't work. But of course it doesn't work. This only works with AC, of course. But after sometime working with that, I understood that this all maybe this whole paradigm is this whole concept is too it's just wasteful, and I don't really need maybe I don't really need like to rotate the container, which is also need to be like conductive inside inside the magnet or the vicinity of a magnet, or rotate the magnet. Maybe I should just strip the electromagnets that you could find in speakers, for example, like that one. I can just strip it from almost everything and connect it to, put it on, as much as possible inside like a big magnet, like here. And to actually put the Neo Juice, like my P or my Siemens, we have the sirens like all day or all night. This is the soundtrack of my life. Because it is known that it puts fear in the heart of the Titans, and then they submit themselves to you, and you can do anything you want to them. Which anything you want is presumably always means, if I understand correctly, anal sex, at least in the Shabbat. But I thank God that I didn't let anyone rape me from Shabbat or anything else. But yeah, certainly it's what they like to do. So with magnets, maybe just you can just put the semen or the pee inside this container with maybe just add a small, a very thin floor from aluminum foil if it's missing, because anyway it will be it will swim inside the electromagnet. So if I understand correctly, it will be subjected to channel magnetic field because of its AC. So why do we need them in the whole, now it sounds overly complicated, but since I didn't have slides, I don't know how it's affected. Of course we need to see that it actually affects the neurons in a productive way. The chocolate looks very inviting, even though it's not perfect. Under a thick layer that is the color of chocolate as you expect, there is also still a layer of the same material but in green. If you remember, I think it happens because of oxidation, rapid oxidation, and maybe this could be prevented with better control of the material that I put inside the mixture, and also not to let it happen in the first place, by not leaving the container without cover when the electrolysis is connected. But still, it's nice enough and inviting to eat. So this time I placed in addition to the idol of human, I also placed big fly, a real big fly that I caught, the carcass of a big fly. So I thought maybe they will contain maybe it's fly and not a human being that is in a process of creation. So it's somehow it's comforting me. I need to be rescued from the Nazi prison using arms and legs, me and my daughters.